Now joining me in the studio is Ellen Euston, who is the Programs Manager of She Leads Africa, which is an organization founded by two Nigerian women to help support female African and women of Afro descent entrepreneurs. And one of the speakers at an upcoming program they'll be having is Ade Hassan, and she's also here. So Ellen, for our viewers who don't know, tell us a little bit about She Leads Africa and how it all got started.
Got it. Thank you so much for having me. She Leads Africa, as you've said, is a social enterprise which works to empower young women of African descent. The organization was basically founded by Yasmin and Afua, who are the co-founders, because they basically didn't see enough women's empowerment organizations which were sort of targeting women like them. And that's not necessarily women who are sort of at the bottom of the pyramid seeking microfunding. It's more women who sort of see themselves in middle management, senior leadership positions and working in businesses that they really want to scale and sort of businesses that will make them part of Africa's growth story.
Now, the organization has been touring around the world having what you guys call She Hives. Can you tell us what those are?
Sure. So the She Hive is basically a professional boot camp. We've been to 5 cities, I think it is now, this year. The She Hive is basically, it's made to be like a space for women to come and learn tangible business skills, whether those women are entrepreneurs or women who just want to sort of build their careers. There's something for everyone at the She Hive. It's specifically designed for women between the ages of 18 to 35, our community. And yeah, so we're having a She Hive in London next week, which is why we're in town at the moment.
Okay, and Ade, you're going to be one of the speakers at the London She Hive that Ellen has mentioned. What can the participants expect from you?
So I'm going to be on a panel called Bossing by Birth. It's going to be a few of us. I founded a company called Nubian Skin, which sort of, I guess, is very much part of that, the exact demographic that She Leads Africa focuses on is who my company targets as well. And essentially I'll just be talking about my experience, my professional background before I became an entrepreneur, the steps that I took to become an entrepreneur, and the journey so far.
Okay, so that's quite interesting. So this is your first time working with She Leads Africa, because I know this isn't their first event. What impact do you think being a part of this is going to have for you as an individual and for your company?
So I was introduced to Afua and Yasmin last year, and I actually got to go to one of their events in Nigeria, and I saw the women that they were working with were of such an amazing caliber, and just being able to network with people like that, but also seeing that there is a whole group of people, you know, who were young, entrepreneurial-minded women, it's incredibly empowering. It's a great chance to network, and it's also a great opportunity to impart some of the learnings that I've had in my process of being an entrepreneur as well. And
for someone who's started their own business, this She Leads Africa wasn't part of your starting up process.
No.
So do you think that it would have been more helpful to you if you had had something like this at your fingertips?
I think it would have been amazing, actually. Being an entrepreneur can be quite a lonely path, and so having a community of people that you can reach out to just sort of feel as though you're not the only one going through something like that would have been incredibly valuable.
So is that what She Leads Africa is about, creating community?
Definitely. I mean, that's what kind of the vibe, exactly what you've described, is kind of what we aim to achieve during the She Hives. It's sort of meant to be a space for women to really come and connect, and yes, potentially like make contacts, but also to sort of find women who are like them, who have those ambitions, who are going through the struggles that entrepreneurs do go through, and they can really sort of make lifelong connections during the She Hive. That's what we've seen in the past, and hopefully that's what we're going to see at London as well.
Okay, so one question for you and one question for you.
Sure.
What would be your advice to an aspiring female Afro entrepreneur?
I think it'd probably be the advice that I would give any entrepreneur, regardless of background or sex, is that you should, number one, research your idea and make sure that you know it's viable and that you believe in it 110%, because it will be so much more hard work than you ever realize. You might be prepared to work hard, but it will be more than that, but equally it will be just as rewarding.
And just to take us back for a second, in terms of taking the leap, because you mentioned that you were already based in a professional career, you were establishing yourself in one way, and you sort of left all of that to pursue your passion and your dream. How do you encourage people to take that leap of faith as you would have it? Because it must be quite scary.
I think it can be quite scary and it's quite risky. I was quite pragmatic about it. I came up with the concept and knew that I was going to need to save a lot more money. So I changed jobs in order to be able to do that, and always had my goal of my business in the back of my mind. It took me 3 years till I got to the point where I felt that I could to leave that job and then go full-time with Nubian Skin. So I was quite strategic with how I did it. I think that I would advise people, if you can be strategic, to do so. But for some people, it's more of a leap. It'll be a leap anyway, but it might not be quite as practical. But I think if you really do believe in it, you never want to wake up one day, you know, like 20 years from now thinking, what if I did? So you might as well try.
Great. And Ellen, finally, for anyone who wants to come down to She Hive London, how do they go about that?
If you want to contact us or hear more details about She Hive London, you can head over to sheleadsafrica.org. The event's being held at Facebook offices in Euston between the 18th and 21st of August, which is next week. And you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, She Leads Africa.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us, and Thanks. I've learned so much just in that short time.